My name's Matt Barwick, and I worked with the Murray-Darling Basin Authority, then the Commission, the Native Fish Strategy specifically as research program coordinator for the program for a number of years. Look, I loved it. It was one of those things. I've worked with fish in various capacities for my entire career, and really obviously knew about the strategy before I started to work with that group and really wanted to. One thing, from an outsider, it was very clear that there was a pretty unique culture. Everyone works with fish because they are passionate about that area. I think it's really what draws people to the profession, to the field. And I knew about the strategy, what it was trying to achieve, and more importantly knew about the people before I actually started working there. And it was really just that it was that culture, and I suppose that everyone felt very strongly about what they were trying to do. That was what drew me, and it was probably more than I expected once I was working with that group. You know, just the level of devotion and the commitment to the vision. You know, it's all there, and I mean, quite obviously that's why there was such a high number of people that were still working on the strategy at the end, that were also instrumental in its inception. I suppose I look at it primarily in terms of the research. So some of the research that was done was best practice and changed our thinking, certainly on a national scale, and also influenced thinking internationally as well, which is really exciting when you see, I mean, it's not an insignificant amount of money, but it certainly wasn't an enormous amount of money that was invested in research to achieve the benefits that came out of it. I mean, obviously, in terms of the way research was used in an adaptive way, certainly the Cedar Hume program's a great example. So we didn't realise, although it's intuitive, that fish needed to move downstream as much as they needed to move upstream, but equally little fish needed to move just as much as big fish. And that was really, that was just a light bulb moment. But then that information was rapidly incorporated into the way we build fishways, changing the way we build them, so that little fish were catered for, and downstream passage was something that we started to look at. It's a fantastic example of research not occurring in a vacuum. You know, it's just plugged straight into management, and as a result of that, we've got 2,000 kilometres of river open to fish of all sizes, and they're moving in their thousands, and the research and the monitoring has shown that. So the things that I'm proud of, I suppose, are the things I'm not proud of is the state of our rivers and our fish, and the unfortunate reality is that the problems aren't fixed. There's still a lot that needs to be done. The things I am proud of is recognising that we've come some way towards addressing those problems through the research that's been done, and that's a really good thing. Yeah. Some of the work that's happened during the wrap-up of the strategy has been to really do a stock take. So what do we know? And that's a really useful thing for any research program or any strategy. And so we've got a very clear understanding now of what is known, and so that helps to inform identifying what are the existing knowledge gaps, what don't we know. Now the way we address those knowledge gaps will change going forward, there's no doubt about that, but I think that ultimately that provides a lot of opportunities. So there's a lot of ways we can make this work. We have to be a little bit more creative, but I think that certainly there are ways that we can address the research needs that we need to, and yeah, we just need to get on with the job, I guess. In reality, the thing that we can't lose sight of is the fact that our fish resources are really important culturally, economically, socially, and they need healthy rivers, healthy waterways to survive. So as we're moving into an age where we're very focused on the water that sits in the river, but the river itself is important, and the fish are obviously critical to the people. So really, we just need to maintain focus on the great work that's been done by the strategy, the fact that it's the start of something, not the end, And ultimately, if people value fish as much as I think that they do, you know, we'll continue to achieve really good things under the strategy, funded through a variety of different means. And you know, I guess what I'm really trying to say is the people don't disappear, and the energy doesn't disappear, and the strategy is still there and relevant and useful. We just need to continue to work together in the way that we have been, and good things will continue to come from that.